Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Kicking off either a day in my life, maybe a couple days in my life, just depending on how much footage I end up filming today. But wanted to kick off today's portion of the vlog. I feel like I haven't posted and have just been really inconsistent on my channel the last couple of weeks, and first portion of that was moving. Everything was just like super chaotic on the moving side of things, and then with my 9 to 5 we just had a couple of really busy weeks back to back, and as much as I love YouTube and making vlogs for you guys, that ultimately is my main focus at the end of the day, is my 9 to 5. So just had to take a pause from that, and then filmed like a work week in my life type video last week and ended up testing positive for COVID, which I have gone back and forth probably 15 times if I want to even put that on the internet, just because I can already anticipate, I can already like smell the comments coming my way and the DMs, and I think it's really easy sometimes to assume that smaller channels aren't being overanalyzed or critiqued just because it's not necessarily in the comment section, but I definitely hear and see a bunch of mean comments that come my way, and that comes with the territory. I'm not complaining about it. It's just something that I have not wanted to deal with. I think I've taken a lot of responsibility throughout COVID. You guys have seen on my channel, like I haven't had to hide anything. I've been really careful about like who I hang out with, especially in the beginning of the pandemic, and you know, all of that was documented, and I think that that's, you know, the proof is kind of there. If you want to go through and dig and overanalyze everything, I can't stop people from doing that. But I filmed a work week in my life last week, and honestly, it was a really good video, and I'm so bummed that I can't post it because I feel like it was just well produced. Like I feel like I had a good ratio of like B-roll to comments about the apartment and my 9 to 5, and I was really happy with the way that it was turning out, but it just didn't age well. Like the video is literally me getting progressively more sick throughout the week. And again, this is something that I would just so much rather deal with off the internet, but I feel like more or less it's somehow gonna come to the surface, and it's really not a big deal. I just am like in a phase where I'm very over people overanalyzing my life as a whole. And I think that that's why I've been a little bit disconnected from this channel just generally the last couple of months. But long story short, I really truly to my core thought I had a sinus infection. Obviously didn't know anybody around me that had tested positive. Not sure where I got it. I assume it was just some random like community spread, either through workout classes or the metro. That's like the only thing I can think of. I had a very chill weekend the weekend before I tested positive. Like I wasn't at bars. The craziest thing I did was go to a restaurant with like 3 of my friends, so could have gotten it there as well, but that's relatively low risk compared to like clubbing or, you know, SantaCon in New York where everybody's testing positive. Like when I tested positive, I didn't know anybody else that had tested positive, and then obviously things really escalated in DC, and luckily it seems if you're vaccinated that symptoms are pretty low and mild. Mine at least have been for the most part. Yesterday was my 10-day mark of seeing symptoms, so I, per the CDC, per my doctor, am in the clear today just because I don't really have any new symptoms. I just have like a few small lingering things, but because of that I'm laying low. I'm not planning on leaving my apartment today or really tomorrow or the next day. Gonna just continue to lay low and minimize anything that I do need to do. I'm gonna give myself the grace of like, if I need to run to CVS or Target quickly, if I go in with a mask and just like efficiently go in and out, keep my distance, I think that's okay at this point. And like, yeah, I'm just like minimizing any activity I do. I'm really not going anywhere, not seeing anybody, not doing anything for at least a couple more days, just to, you know, err on the side of caution. The last thing I want to say, I guess, is just I'm so grateful to be vaccinated, and I really recommend getting vaccinated at this point if you're not, because I can't imagine the symptoms I would have had I not been vaccinated. And I'm so lucky that I was, because my symptoms were relatively mild. I didn't have to go to the hospital. I didn't really have a fear of that at any point. My worst symptom was losing taste, which is interesting because nobody that I know that has tested positive since has experienced that, which kind of makes me wonder if I have like an older variant or just like a fluke because I didn't have my booster and a lot of my friends have their booster now. Realistically, this is probably the only time I'm gonna bring it up on my channel, just because as much as I'm taking it seriously and following all the procedures and protocols and, you know, immediately notifying anybody I was in contact with and making sure not to leave my apartment. Like, I've Uber Eats'd every meal that I've wanted to eat, you know, outside of the apartment, and had the driver drop it off outside. Like, didn't even make contact with the drivers. I don't think my channel needs to be a source of information for COVID per se. I've been talking for like 15 minutes now, and I feel like every time I get close to a concise thought, I just envision like the comments or the potential DMs I'm gonna get, and I'm just like, I don't know how bigger creators do this full time, because I just can't imagine. And I honestly empathize with anybody who does social media full time, because I think people really underestimate, like, I have pretty thick skin at this point, and I feel like it's hard to bother me, but I just, like, I know this is gonna do it. So yeah, I feel like you guys get the point. There's no need to like harp on it. You can choose to believe that I followed procedures and took this seriously, or you cannot. There's really like no way for me to prove that, besides literally like if I live streamed the last 10 days straight from my apartment, which nobody would want to see. But moving forward though, I'm excited to show you guys the apartment. I feel like a lot has changed since I filmed and posted a clip. Like I said, in the work week in my life that I filmed last week, I feel like I had a lot of good like little chatty moments, or like clips where I was asking you guys for your opinions or showing you guys things that came in the mail. So I want to do a quick overview of the apartment and kind of explain what's like coming in the mail this week as far as decor and my plans for things. I have a couple packages hopefully arriving today that aren't super exciting, but I feel like are gonna make a difference in terms of like storage and just like functionality of the apartment. So excited to show you guys that. My camera battery is flashing, so I'm gonna go ahead and charge that for a couple of minutes and then show you guys the apartment, hopefully do some unboxings later, and just have like a nice chill day inside. Quick apartment overview. I feel like I've shown you guys everything in the bathroom. I can't remember if I showed this in my last moving vlog, but I did pick up a new bath mat just because I wanted one that would kind of blend in a little bit more. And I think this does the job. This is from Target. It does show a lot of like, not dirt, but just like dust and stuff that accumulates in the apartment, but I do really like it. And then the only other new thing in here is this laundry basket. And this is actually from H&M Home. I feel like I don't see a lot of people talking about them, but everything that I've tried out from them is really good quality, reasonably priced, and has been really impressive so far. The shipping did take a while, but I think it was worth the wait. I wanted something minimal and neutral for the space, and feel like this is actually perfect. It's a really good size. It stores enough, but not too much. And I actually really like that it has this like top part that can cinch up and close if you did need to walk to a laundromat, or even just like downstairs if you didn't have laundry in unit. I think that this is a really good option. And it's hard to tell on camera, but it really is quite durable. This feels way more substantial than I was expecting. So super happy with that. I think that's everything for the bathroom. Bedroom is relatively the same since last time you guys have seen it. Chair is definitely still cramped over here. I think that that's just realistically the way it's gonna be. I've made peace with it. Dresser situation I think is also the same since you've seen it. This closet is also just gonna be a little bit cramped for, you know, the foreseeable future. I did end up taking the legs off of the dresser though, just to give the clothing over here a little bit more room to breathe and move around. I think in another life I could have used this storage better, but I am really happy with the shoe storage right now. So this is working out for me. We are accepting that for what it is. Like I said, chair is kind of the same. Bed setup is relatively the same. I did get these new pillows, which I think I really like. The black feels a little bit dark, but I think it needed to be grounded, and I like how it ties into this little black frame over here. I went back and forth on if I liked having the darker pillows, especially with that cream body pillow, and not 100% set on it yet, but I do think that I like it. I think I need to add like a little throw blanket kind of in there that's a color in between the two to kind of ground everything and break it up. But as a whole, I feel like this is pretty solid. I have zero ideas for what I'm gonna put on the walls. Honestly, this might just end up being a very like neutral, cozy bedroom instead of like a nicely decorated bedroom. I do want to get some table lamps. I saw some from World Market a couple weeks back that I really liked, so might get those. Then I need to order a rug for in here. But besides that, I think that this room is relatively complete. And then coming out to the living room, I believe I showed you guys where the rug was going to be taped off in the last vlog. That should be here any day now. I ordered that probably like 2 weeks ago now, so hopefully soon. And then once that's up, I can go ahead and hang all the artwork. I just don't want to hang anything if the couch might move like an inch or two, and then it would look not symmetrical or just like ajar. As far as the furniture in here goes, I totally agree that the coffee table is a little bit too big for the space. I think in an ideal world, I just have like a smaller ottoman or round table, but honestly, I don't think I want to spend any more money on temporary furniture. I think I'd rather just hold on to this until I'm ready to invest in something a little bit nicer. Also, this is the primary space that I eat off of, so downsizing this too much more would just not really be functional if any friends come over or anything like that. It's already super annoying to eat off of a coffee table anyway. So I think for the time being, I'm gonna keep this. I agree it's not the most functional for the space, but I think it just makes the most sense. And then I also saw a few comments about mounting the TV, which I really wanted to do when I first saw the apartment. I wanted to put it like right up here. And then I agree that would either open this space up for the other chair or just like a different situation down here. But because of this thermostat, I don't think it's possible with the wiring in the walls, or if it is, I'd have to hire someone that like really knows what they're doing. So I've made fact with the piece that this is not going to be mounted for the time being, but I totally agree with all of those comments. And then I saw some comments saying I should move this desk basically over here and put this in my room, which I agree it probably would open up this walkway a little bit more. But one, I really like having my desk facing out for when I'm working at my desk. And two, as you can see, someone has entirely claimed this spot as their own, and I think he would slit my throat in the middle of the night if I moved this chair like desk situation away from him, because Leo just loves sitting on the chair and up here like looking out the window trying to catch the birds that fly by. So I agree with that comment as well, but I think that this is pretty stable for the time being. So I'm hoping the rug just kind of helps like create this little space. And then once all of this is up on the wall, I think this can all just be like scooted back a little bit, and hopefully it will look a little bit more open. And then lastly, not a ton has changed in the kitchen since you guys have seen it. I think in the work week in my life last week, I unboxed this drying rack, which I went back and forth if I wanted to keep. It felt kind of big and then kind of small for the space, but I do think I like it, and it's just kind of like minimalistic. I think eventually some of these plants will move like back behind there. I have a couple shelves I could put on the wall and just kind of space them out throughout the apartment. But for the time being, honestly, I'm really enjoying this little plant corner. I know it's not like the most visually pleasing, but I, for whatever reason, am super into it. So gonna enjoy this for the next like couple of weeks before I get things like fully sorted. But I am planning on moving these and like spreading them out. I don't know, I love this little like green corner. I think it's super cute. Like I was saying, that is pretty much the only new thing. I got a couple of little storage baskets. This one is from H&M Home as well. I'm going to eventually put that down there. And then I found this little wire basket from either Home Goods or, yeah, I think it was Home Goods a few weekends ago as well. And that's gonna go over here with like a little blanket in it, just waiting for the rug and everything to get delivered. A lot of this just needs to find other homes, like all of this down here. This is my advent calendar my mom put together, which is super cute. I unfortunately ate all of the chocolate before Christmas, so that'll go back to like my mom's house whenever I'm able to go home, you know, safely, a whole 9 yards. But all of that's gonna find like new homes, and then this will hopefully clear itself out a little bit. New trash cans are coming today, just because this is like not a very functional layout at all. Every time I open the door, it hits. And these trash cans are like fine. They were literally the cheapest option from Target when I was in college, and have carried them with me since. So it's time, they've served their purpose. The new ones are delivering today, so I'll wait and show you guys that. And then I feel like that's the primary updates. It's definitely starting to come together. It's very cozy. I've gotten a ton of time on this couch the last like couple of days, obviously. and I'm really just enjoying having this little like cozy environment. So excited for things to get up on the wall and the rug. I feel like that's gonna make a really big difference, but that is the current state. It's been a couple hours since I last picked up the camera. I was really hoping both packages would get here, but I think the Target one's gonna end up being delayed. If it's not already here by now and it's 5 o'clock, it's probably gonna come tomorrow or the next day. But I did get my package in from Amazon, which is that over-the-door storage. I think I mentioned that. I'll do a quick unboxing of that. Super basic over-the-door hook, but I thought that this would be good for clearing up some space in that closet, coat closet. I think I'm gonna add in a couple more of my blazers and like my raincoat and stuff like that, because I could hang all of my like bags and keys, stuff like that on here. So that is the plan for that. Like I said, trash cans will hopefully get here tomorrow. It's not urgent. I'm just like ready to have the space feel a little bit more settled. I also checked the tracking for my rug, and that's still in India. I was hoping that it had made its way to the US and just hadn't updated in a couple of days, but it just changed zip codes over in India. So hopefully it gets here soon. Super excited about that. This looks like average but nice. Hopefully it fits like the right width here. I feel like it'll be fine. So gonna hang that up in a second. I feel like that's been the major updates of today. Oh, I got a little immunity shot thing because I placed an order through GoPuff, I guess yesterday, maybe the day before, and it was like $2 from the order minimum, and saw this. And it's like a ginger shot, but it's blue. And that to me sounds more appetizing. I know that it's honestly probably not, and arguably way too late for an immunity boosting thing. I did end up testing negative today. I can't remember if I probably didn't include any clips of that, but I did like an at-home test from the library, came back negative. I have another one that I can take tomorrow or the next day just to make sure, and then I have a PCR in the mail. So, I mean, it's not gonna hurt, and while my senses are a little bit diluted still, I feel like now is the time to like really eat healthy and put good shit in my body, which I'm about to do the opposite of after this, but okay, one second. If I wasn't slouched over to like reach the camera right now, I definitely could have done that in less takes, but tasted pretty good. That might be like the muted senses talking, but I feel like that was decent, and I liked that it was blue instead of yellow. That felt satisfying to me. If you're also on GoPuff and need another like $2 to reach the order minimum, I'd recommend. Anyway, we're gonna hang this up, see how this goes, and I'll update you guys then. Honestly, the quality is really nice. It came with these little bumpers that you could put to like keep the door from scratching as well, which is nice. Just like a nice little detail to throw in there, and it seems, like I said, pretty good quality. So I'll have it linked down below in case anybody's in a similar situation. I might order one for my closet door as well, just because I feel like it's just good to have that extra hanging storage. But like the wellness queen I am, after that killer immunity shot, I want Chick-fil-A. So I'm still trying to figure out the good lighting in this apartment. I feel like because I don't have any like supplemental lighting, I just have the overhead lighting. It's super harsh when I film once the sun goes down. But it's a little bit before 6 p.m. I am gonna reward my 1, negative COVID test, and 2, super healthy ginger shot that you guys just saw me take with some Chick-fil-A. And I think I'm gonna go through the drive-thru just because honestly, I have spent so much money the last like week or so on Postmates, Uber Eats, like Grubhub, GoPuff, you name it, delivery, that if I test negative, I wear a mask in my car, I feel like it's more than fine if I go through the drive-thru. And also, warm food just never really delivers the same. Like it doesn't taste as good even when I pick it up and take it home. So like if someone else brings it, it's just so much more time. But I think that's the plan for the time being. I'm gonna go pick up dinner, come back here, hang out, and then might start editing this video. We'll see, but I'll catch up with you guys later. Thank you so much. Have a good one. I've been sitting here the past couple of minutes editing this video and just wanted to kind of wrap everything up. I feel like it's been super chatty and a little bit all over the place. So I figured it'd be good just to like have a more formal outro clip. But the rest of my night is pretty much just computer work. I have a lot of stuff that I need to do for end of year planning and budgeting. I think my tax guy, he's like my tax specialist, accountant, business advisor, like he is everything to me. I think he's ghosting me. Like I reached out about a mid-year appointment with him and we had one scheduled and then he just like didn't show up on the call. And then I've emailed him a couple times since and he hasn't responded. And honest to God, like this would be the most devastating breakup I've had in 2021 if this is the end of our relationship. I feel like we have a good relationship though. This would be the 3rd year that I would have used him. So I feel like if he didn't like me as a client, he would have dropped me by now. I know he has family that lives abroad, so maybe he's just been abroad this whole time with like the pandemic and stuff like that. And hopefully everything's okay with like him and his family and he's just not responding because it's like a fluke in the system or he's booked and busy. Like regardless though, I need to finish documenting all of my business, like income, expenses. I also decided that 2022 is the year that I open a separate checking account for all of my like YouTube deposits and stuff like that because this year was just like too much. Like there's just too many random streams of revenue from YouTube. I feel like a lot of people talk about this, but like every individual sponsor, every like link that you see in the description probably comes from a different source. And like right now I'm chasing down like 2 or 3 payments from literally 3 months ago because I need them by the end of the year to like file my taxes. You know what I mean? So just stuff like that. I feel like it'd be easier for me to keep track if I had one dedicated account to my checkings and savings for my business, because then I could also automatically transfer like 35% or whatever it is I need to put aside for taxes each year. So that's where my head's at. I have probably like an hour or so of work I need to just knock out for that. That way it's done. And then I'm gonna finish editing this vlog and hopefully get this up in the next couple of days or so. I just wanna make sure everything COVID test comes back negative again before I post this. I feel like you guys can probably understand that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this more chill day in my life. I definitely will be filming more of these throughout the next couple of weeks, just like working from home and getting the apartment kind of ready to go. I feel like I've been saying that for a while, but once the rug comes in and I can hang stuff up, I feel like that'll be a really fun vlog. So stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. Bye.